Yeah.
Domestic violence is a serious issue. It's a serious topic. It's going on right now in the media with P. Diddy and 50 Cent's baby mama accusing them of domestic violence. It's multi-directional. Sometimes we don't get the other side of the story. Sometimes it's women on men, men on women. It goes both ways, but a lot of times the men don't report it. But here's a quick list of a lot of athletes that have been accused of domestic violence issues. Nick Kyrgios, he's a tennis player. Miles Bridges, basketball player. Rodion Skarukas, basketball player. Floyd Mayweather, boxer. Randy Moss, football player. Chad Ochocinco, football player. Dennis Rodman, basketball player. Jim Brown, football player. Manny Ramirez, football player. O.J. Simpson, football player. Jose Canseco, baseball player. Tanya Harding, she's a skater. So it's definitely a serious topic. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Elevation Nation Conversations. Let's go.
I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Elevation Nation Conversations. God Body Sean. Conversation. God Body Sean. Another episode. We here. We tuned in. Tap that like, share, subscribe button. Drop a comment in the comments section. Elevation Nation Conversations. We talk about grown folk shit. We talk about grown folk shit. Grown folks topics. We talk about it all. We talk about the nonsense. We talk about the funny, and we talk about the serious. And we try to learn from that shit. But I wanted to touch on this topic, and I know I'm probably gonna get some hate. I know I am, because it's a sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive topic, but they've been talking a lot about it in the media lately with the Diddy situations. And for anybody that care, I'm not rocking for Diddy. I'm not co-signing any nonsense behavior, but we ain't got no evidence yet on that, so let's let that shit play out. We got too many black folks willing, ready, and able to jump on the bandwagon and start rooting for the downfall of that brother without no solid information or solid what they call it, proof or evidence. It's a lot of accusations right now. And I'm not capping for him. I'm not co-signing anything that he's doing. I don't know what he's doing or what he didn't do, but all I know is, man, look, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. They love to do that shit to a black man. The media, all that. They'll crucify a black man quick. All you need is an accusation and the game is over. They freezing assets. They come and raiding your house. All that. So let's get that man a chance. Everybody get their day in court the same way they did Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and Vince McMahon. Dana White, the guy from the MMA, the MMA league or whatever. They got him on video smacking the shit out of his wife. You saw that maybe get 2 minutes in the headlines and the stories, and everything was back to normal. And that leads into what we're talking about today, is the whole domestic violence thing that's going on in the media. We got a story about this ties in with the whole Diddy situation. I guess 50 Cent's baby mother, Daphne Joy, she was named in the fucking article of the case, saying she was a sex worker, basically. So I don't know what they call it, but I guess it's part of the case or the discovery or whatever, the lawsuit that was filed or whatever. They mentioned her name in there, saying that she was one of Diddy's paid sex workers. So she was on the payroll. That just goes to tell y'all women out there, look, these chicks be running around here lying. They be getting flued out to get them cheeks clapped. They ain't doing much else but just regular fucking prostitution. They try to fake in front on online and You know, like they boss babes and boss bitches and all that, but meanwhile, they fucking for pay. Now they quick to tell, give the men sex trafficking charges and all of that, but they never charge the women. The women are the ones they fucking for money. They in agreement with it too. So what part of the game is that? But the whole domestic violence thing. So now Daphne Joy is saying that 50 Cent committed DV against her some years back. And like I say, I'm not with that. I don't condone violence against women. I don't condone violence against men. Multi-directional. It goes both ways sometimes. Sometimes it goes one way, whether the woman on the man or the man on the woman. Sometimes it goes both ways. It's all toxic. And that's where we at with it in today's society when you're in relationships and you're vested in someone. When you have feelings and emotions and you're invested in them, sometimes shit gets heated and things happen and nobody says it's correct, but shit happens. It's not supposed to. Yeah, in the perfect society, the perfect world, everybody would just walk away when they get mad and nothing, it would never go to that level. But that's not what happens all the time, and unfortunately some things happen. But my thing that I wanted to talk about today was, why is this the go-to allegation that all women love to throw out there? Whenever shit go wrong, or whenever things don't go their way, or whenever they not getting what they want, or whenever they bitter or vindictive, they start throwing a domestic violence thing out there. Keke, what is her name? Keke Palmer. She just recently did it too. It's always some domestic violence thrown in the mix when shit start going sour, start going south. Relationship is fizzing out. People ain't seeing eye to eye. Why is that always the number one go-to that a woman will say? And now some women are even saying that they're being raped. Now you've been in a relationship or a marriage or whatever, and now things are over and people throwing allegations out. Now some women saying they've even been raped. So during the marriage, nobody called and said nothing about rape or press any charges and things like that. But when things go sour and women not getting what they want, now we throwing the rape charge out there now. On top of the domestic violence and the mental abuse and the verbal abuse and all of that. A lot of these are known tactics that women love to do, to throw around, to throw their weight around, because they know a woman will get sympathy quicker than a man will. That's the quickest way for a woman to win what she wants or get what she wants, is when they start throwing that sympathy card, or he was domestically abusing me and mentally abusing me and financially abusing me. It's the first thing they throw out. They even do that a lot in divorce cases. When the woman is trying to get, spousal support, she want to get out of the marriage or whatever, that's the first thing they throw out. Domestic abuse, mental abuse. Now, I'm not saying at all that it doesn't happen. It happens way too much. That's one thing we do know. It happens way too much. It definitely shouldn't happen. But at the same time, we have to realize and think and say, okay, how much of this shit is real? And also, how much of this is multi-directional? Multi-directional violence. What they call it, I can't pronounce the word, but it's unidirectional violence. That's when the woman is just as violent as the man. The woman is hitting. The woman is being mentally abusive, verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, financially abusive. You very rarely hear that instance when it's violence going the other direction, when it's a woman on a man. Because for the most part, men have been trained to take it. Take it, not say nothing, suck it up. We gotta walk away. We're a man. We supposed to be bigger than that, and You know, meanwhile, the woman can do whatever they want to do. They can say whatever they want to say. They can get in your face. They can even hit. They can verbally abusive, mentally abusive, but the man is supposed to walk away. But yet, these are the same women that say equality, feminism, women are equal. They want the same thing, the same treatment men get, all of that. But when it comes to something like that, oh, now it's one side. Or, oh, no, you're a man. No, you can't talk to me like this, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. But these are the same feminists and the same women that practice misogyny against men when they want to verbally abuse you because they want money out of you, and you're not giving them all your money, or you're not doing what they want you to do, or they think you cheating, so they get to hitting and physical and breaking things and damaging property and damaging cars. Nobody ever reports that. Charges are rarely pressed on that part. So I just want to take an honest look at that and say, damn, why is it never multi-directional? It's never multi-directional. And I'm going to be the first to say, and it sounds horrible. And I hate the way, like I say, I hate the way it even sounds, but there are some cases, or not even some cases, but there are some instances where a woman needs to understand what you're doing is too much. You getting in the face of a man, you yelling, you screaming, you calling them bitches and punks and all of this and all of that. At what point do you stop before he slaps the shit out your ass? I'm just being totally truthfully honest. When have you ever heard a woman say, well, damn, yeah, he slapped the shit out my ass because I was doing too much. I was in his face abusing him verbally, mentally, emotionally, all of that. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, man. Let's get real with it. Let's talk real with it. And I'm going to talk real with it about me, about my situation. I've had a situation where I had to slap the shit out of a ex-wife or whatever because it was too much abuse. It was mental abuse, it was verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. Telling them to stop. Yo, stop. You're doing too much. Stop. I don't have why I gotta walk away. This is my home as well. You walk away because you're the ones still trying to carry the argument on and still trying to be abusive and get your point across and seen in any manner, in any fashion that you can. We human beings too. Men are human beings too. Women are human beings too. What I did was totally wrong. Definitely not correct. Not justifiable. However, at the same time, at what point does somebody say, hey, you know what, you need to chill out. You know you can't beat this man. You can't make him do nothing. He ain't doing nothing to you. Stop with the verbal abuse. Stop with the emotional abuse. Leave him alone. You leave. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you upset. You leave. Why the man got to leave all this? Y'all want us to pay the fucking all the bills anyway, so why we got to leave? You leave. But that's the one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is when you're in a relationship like that and you're in a serious relationship and you guys are invested in each other, you have shit to lose, a lot going on, emotions get high, they get hot, shit gets a little crazy. And crazy shit happens on both sides, on the woman's side and the man's side. And sometimes there's multi-directional fighting, or maybe a little pushing, or maybe some grabbing, or whatever, or somebody getting shit slapped out of them, whether it be the man or the woman. It happens both ways. But now we've gotten into society where it's kind of condoned on the woman's side. Women can do whatever they want to do. They can go out there and talk shit, hit, damage property, all of that, and no repercussions. No repercussions at all. That you see a lot of athletes going through this. A lot of athletes, entertainers, and things like that. And sometimes you look at it, you say, "Damn, Why is this such a big thing going on in these certain sectors? A lot of time it's women have started to abuse the system. They know the system is going to slant or tilt in their favor for the most part, 99% of the time. They know if the police come out, 9 times out of 10, they taking the man. Because the men usually don't report it. They don't show it. They don't say, hey, she was being verbally abusive to me. She was being physically abusive to me. Men really don't report that because masculinity, as when a woman want to say be a man and be masculine, when it benefits them, they don't. Oh, why you telling her? Why you calling the police? Or why you calling the police on me? I hit you. I ain't nothing but a woman. You can take it. Or I ain't doing nothing but cussing you out and verbally abusing you. You can take it. So they want you to be a man then, but they don't want you to be a man when he's saying, look, standing on business. Look, get out of my face with that nonsense and that bullshit. Tell them to bounce or whatever, or you slap shit out their ass. Now you ain't no man. But yet you'll be a punk or a pussy if you letting her emasculate you, break and tear up your stuff, cause you emotional abuse, and you don't stop it. Then now you're a pussy. So you can't win from losing. So we need to have a real discussion about this domestic violence thing. And right now, 50 Cent is going through with his baby mama Daphne Jordan. Now she wants to bring out the domestic violence card. I don't think she reported it years ago when it happened, or maybe she did, or maybe there wasn't enough evidence to press any charges or anything like that. But we have to take a look at this. When are we going to start addressing the fact of what the women are doing and what part they're playing in the position and this role of this multi-directional abuse? I have a daughter, and this hurts me to even talk about something like this. But I know one thing that I will be raising my daughter up and teaching her is to never get in the man's face. Never get in a man's face. There's no reason for you to be up in a man's face, yelling, hollering, screaming, popping, snapping, clapping hands, touching on him, doing none of that, calling them names. There's no reason for that. If it gets to that point, it's time for y'all to go y'all separate ways, because next thing you know, it's gonna move into something else. Not all men have that submissive character trait or gene or whatever you want to call it, where they'll let, whether it be a woman or anybody, get in their face doing all of that. Sometimes that's just too much, and there are consequences for your actions when you're putting someone through that type of abuse. Verbal, mental, emotional, physical. Shit happens. So I'm raising my daughter. You don't never get in no man's face. There's no reason to. If y'all can't talk like adults and y'all settle it, in a adult manner or mature manner, definitely you're not gonna make him do anything, and you're not gonna change anything by getting in his face, yelling, screaming, hollering, doing all that commotion. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. You might find yourself getting the shit slapped out you because you got a man that's standing on business and he's not having that shit. Now you gotta also look at too. A lot of this is really only in America. The way the courts are kind of set up, the way they prosecute it, and the way they charge it and things like that. You don't see that happening over in like Africa or over in like in Ireland. There's a big push or movement over there because there's a lot of domestic violence issues or things like that. But also you have to see that in some of these other cultures, or in the Hispanic culture, things like that. The culture and the way the women and the men are raised is the women don't come at the men like that. This is a lot in just kind of American society, whether it's the white community or the black community, things like that, because of the laws and the system and how it's set up in America. And the feminism movement has given women this courage to get in a man's face, hit on a man, verbally abuse him, emotionally abuse him, and to the point where they know they're protected by the courts and law enforcement. There's stories where I've read where there are women coming from America going over, let's say, to Ghana or Zaire, whatever, in Africa, and they're dating the men over there, and they're taking this toxic ass culture that they're learning and doing here in America, the way they talk to men and react to men and do certain things to men. They took it over there, man. Them men was beating their ass. Horrific to say this, but they were killing them. Or over in Pakistan and over there with the Arab countries and things like that. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the Taliban and things, they don't play that shit. And I hate to sound like a misogynist or a male chauvinist, but they don't play that. Women, you stay in your place. Men, you stay in your place. But no, the women do not run around like there's an equal physical level or physical playing field and getting in men's faces and things like that. They don't do that over there in the United Emirates or whatever, and the Islamic states and things like that, or African countries and things. They don't do that. Women are not doing that to the degree that they are doing that in America. So we gotta ask yourself, what's the difference in America? And we got some of the men that'll say, you know, they'll simp out, or and maybe that's just their belief. I'm not even gonna say simping out, but they believe in just taking that. A woman can do anything they want to do, and they feel no recourse to do anything back, and that's right. That's what they supposed to do. But there are also some men you can't do that. And women need to really start analyzing what they're saying and doing in these relationships, and take a look at themselves and see what they're doing to add or contribute to the problem of the domestic violence that's going on unidirectional between men and women, women on men, men on women. Now I want to read a little bit about the article that Daphne Joy with 50 Cent domestic violence claims. But I also wanted to speak on, you know, there are a lot of men and women that run around with the activism talk and no violence is ever justified and never hit a woman and this and that. And these are the same men and women that have domestic violence and multi-directional violence in their relationships. It's a totally different fucking story when you have emotions invested, finances invested, time and energy invested. It's a totally fucking different situation, and it's not justifiable. But let me play the devil's advocate. Sometimes motherfuckers need the shit slapped out their ass, whether it be a man or a woman. Sometimes you need to get the shit slapped out your ass to get you back correct and tell you, look, who you disrespecting like that? What makes you think you can walk around disrespecting somebody, taking advantage of somebody, and treating people like that? Hold on. So sometimes that shit might just be justifiable. Maybe it'll help you learn and understand that you can't do that. And you'll stop doing that shit. Let's check out the article a little bit. It says, Daphne Joy claimed ex 50 Cent kicked her, destroyed 7. Wow, the way they wrote this title is trash. Daphne Joy claimed ex 50 Cent kicked her, destroyed $7,000 in property during domestic violence incident. Daphne Joy first accused ex 50 Cent of domestic violence in 2013 when she alleged that he kicked and destroyed more than $7,000 in property. The Los Angeles Police Department responded to an incident at a Toluca Lake, California condo on June 23, 2013, where the In the Club rapper and his then anonymous victim got into an argument that led Joy to lock herself and her child sire in a bedroom. Shit, I used to live in LA, and Toluca Lake is not that dope of a motherfucking place. that area ain't that motherfucking dope and that expensive. I was living in LA from 2000 to about 2010. But it says 50 Cent, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, allegedly kicked the door in and then kicked the victim, causing an injury. The LA city attorney shared at the time. Officers found shattered chandeliers and broken furniture throughout the condo, as well as a ransacked closet, a broken television, and broken lamp. The Grammy winner was later charged with 5 criminal counts, 1 for domestic violence and 4 for vandalism. Although the victim was initially listed as a Jane Doe, Joy later came forward and revealed she had been the subject of the G-Unit Records founder's alleged rage. Daphne Joy and 50 Cent have been together for a few years in an exclusive relationship, Joy's attorney at the time said in the statement. So this is just another another story where two people have a difference of opinions, a different of views. They both invested within each other. They are emotionally invested, and tempers and things got heated. What he did is not justifiable, is not correct. But shit happens, man. People are emotional beings and shit happens. It's not always gonna be a perfect situation where, oh, okay, the women do whatever they want to do, and the men just take it and walk off. Take the L and walk off. So women want men to take all the L's. We do whatever we want to y'all. We do whatever we want. And yeah, now when shit hit the fan, oh, we women don't do nothing to it. You can't do nothing. Oh, I saw a list. I saw a list of a lot of, I guess, athletes and entertainers like that have been accused of domestic violence. Over the years. This guy right here, Nick Kyrgios, he's a tennis star. Who else? Miles Bridges, he's a basketball player. Rondion Caruso, I guess he's a basketball player. I don't know who he is. Floyd Mayweather, he's a fucking boxer. Domestic violence. Randy Moss, football player. Ocho Cinco, football player. Dennis Rodman. Jim Brown. Wow, I didn't know about that about Jim Brown. Manny Ramirez. O.J. Simpson. Jose Canseco. Tanya Harding. Okay, they had one woman in the whole fucking list. She was accused of domestic violence. Dez Bryant. Rasheed Wallace. Dwight Gooden. Daryl Strawberry. Matty Nainkin, whoever he is. Ray Rice. Kevin Williams. Jason Kidd. Randy Starks. Javon Belcher. Tito Ortiz. Warren Sapp. Bobby Cox. He an old fuck. Santonio Holmes. Brandon Marshall. Bernard King. Lawrence Phillips. Kerry Williams. Frosty Rucker. Ray McDonald. Man, the list goes on and on and on. And sometimes you gotta look at these things and say, damn. They love to throw the card and say athletes, they're in physically aggressive sports and they're aggressive people and things like that. But at some point in time, nobody ever said, well, damn, maybe he was abused too. Physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Maybe he was abused too and he hit the tipping point and shit happened. Now there is a difference between a woman beater and a domestic violence issue where it happened and it might have been a one-time thing and it either, they reconciled and it stopped, or they went their separate ways and it didn't happen no more. Some of these cases may have been a one-time incident where shit happened, tempers got out of control, and shit happened. Now, a woman beater or a domestic abuser, that's someone that is continual. Whether it's continually in that marriage or that relationship where it happens on and on and on and on, or it's a pattern. Whoever they're dating, it happens. That's a difference between a domestic violence situation, which may have been a one-time thing, and it may never ever happen again, whether it be on the woman's side or the man's side. And then there's an abuser, that is their character. They have a problem, they have a mental issue, they have a temper issue, an anger issue, and they need to seek help. A lot of times, some of these athletes or these brothers or these men, whatever, they'll have one incident, and now they're labeled as abusers. It's like the scarlet letter. It happened one time, and now that's just whatever. No, that's just you. That's who you are. They don't give them brothers a chance to live that down, that title down, and none of that. They can't grow and get better or move past that and go on. But very rarely, if ever, have you ever seen an article or anybody say, man, she's a serial abuser too. Every relationship she gets in, she's verbally abusive, she's aggressive, she's angry, she's emotionally abusive, financially abusive. She want to spend all this money, or she want him to give, and she ain't giving nothing to any of that. So when have you ever heard that situation where they say, well, she's, whenever she gets in a relationship, she's an abuser as well? How is it that some of the same women, or all these women, are always getting abused in all their relationships? What the fuck part are you playing in it? How are you gaslighting these men that you know have feelings for you, or are emotionally attached? How are you abusing them to the point where now they're getting violent and they're losing their temper? Something might happen. How come these women are not getting labeled as angry women, aggressive women, masculine women, abusive women? When was the last time you heard a woman be titled as an abusive woman? If she's mentally abusive, or sexually abusive, withholding sex, or just whatever, and financially abusive. Never heard those titles. So I just wanted to play devil's advocate, man. Elevation Nation Conversation. Shit, hit that like, share, subscribe button. I don't give a fuck. They're not gonna like me. I don't care, y'all. I don't need nobody to like me. I'm damn near 50 years old. I don't care. But it needs to be talked about, and it really needs to be addressed in a mature manner and fashion. It's not about advocating domestic violence. It's not okay anyway, whether it be man on woman, woman on man. Both ways is not okay, but we have to look at some of the deeper issues and see why it's happening at an alarming rate in America. Since when do we make it okay or make it justifiable for a woman to get in a man's face, challenge a man, be abusive to him, and her not feel or think that anything possibly could happen? I was looking at another article. There was a WNBA star. The WNBA and complications that arise in domestic abuse cases. So now you got the WNBA. So that's an all women's league. And that league got a lot of manly looking women and aggressive women. So you got the women dating women, and it's still domestic violence. So this is not a man on woman thing. I repeat, this is not only a man on woman thing, or there's domestic violence issues in man on man relationships as well as woman on woman relationships. It's because it's a deeper topic or a deeper issue than just a man trying to be physically oppressive and physically aggressive to a woman and control them. So let's read this article about the WNBA and some of the cases and the things that they're seeing that are going on in domestic violence cases going on in the league. Okay, the article says the WNBA and complications that arise in domestic abuse cases. Domestic abuse accusations can be tough to handle the 24-hour news cycle or sports season. The WNBA is no exception, as the cases of Roniqua Williams and Natasha Howard have showed us. Allegations of domestic violence against athletes are often difficult matters for professional sports leagues to address. This is in part due to the frequently disturbing aspects of those allegations, the difficulty in assessing the truthfulness of the underlying claims, and the deliberate pace of a criminal justice system that seldom comports to a 24-hour news cycle or sports season. Let's see. It says two WNBA players, Los Angeles Sparks guard Roniqua Williams and Seattle Storm forward Natasha Howard, find themselves accused of domestic violence acts. Both are still playing games for their respective teams. Neither the WNBA nor the players' teams have imposed discipline. The Williams situation is much further along than that of Howard. Okay, so these are two different cases. So one player, Williams, and another player, Howard, I guess they both have domestic violence cases. It says Williams, 29, faces 2 felony charges in Florida stemming from an incident last December with her ex-girlfriend, Miss Davis. The incident took place on Thursday, December 6th at approximately 5:50 p.m. It was at that time when an officer from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the residence in Williams' hometown to investigate a report of a domestic violence act. According to the officer's account, there were 3 victims: Davis, Miss Wilson, and Wilson's 10-year-old son. Davis and Wilson claimed they were in the residence when Williams arrived at about 5 p.m. After she entered the property. Williams allegedly bashed a car belonging to Davis with a skateboard. She then attempted to make entry via hitting the outside door with the skateboard. While allegedly trying to force herself inside, Williams was heard yelling at Davis to come outside and face her. Davis, who says she dated Williams on and off for 5 years and had broken up with Williams only a month earlier, then opened the door. Williams quickly snatched the slightly open door wide open. She is then accused of forcing her way inside with the goal of attacking Davis. Wow. So it says Williams pled not guilty to felony charges. So it sounds like to me that this is a case of 2 women having domestic violence charges. Now, albeit the woman, she look like she want to be a man. She look like she's she's masculine and shit like that. But it's not a laughing matter, a laughing situation. But the shit is funny. But it just goes to show this is not only a man on woman situation or a woman on man. A lot of times, emotions are involved. Time is invested. Feelings are involved, and shit happens. And shit happens. And like I say, and we're not minimizing it. You know, sometimes there are instances where it's just simply an anger problem. The person committing the domestic violence act, they just have an anger problem. They have a control issue. They have a temper. And those are abusers. Those, they need help. They need to be locked up or whatever it is. Case closed. But there are also gray areas where there are women being just as aggressive to men or to their partners as they claim the other partner or the other man is. They hit, they break shit, they tear up shit. I've had that done to me. I've had phones taken, phones broken, car windows broken, car windows flattened, closed, slashed, and cut. So that shit happens both ways. This is not just a issue where whenever a woman throws that shit out, that's just what it is. It's all truthful. It's nothing else says. It's just, that's just what it is. And that's even happening in the the P. Diddy situation with Cassie. Cassie started throwing out the domestic abuse claims, and she was abused and things like that. So that seems to be a quick go-to allegation that women can kind of throw out there to get the court and public opinion and things like that swayed and going in their direction. So shit, I just wanted to talk on the topic, man. Just shit is not as clean as it seems, and it's not the way it's always made out to be. Sometimes this shit be multi-directional. One party's not reporting it, the other party just happen to report it. A lot of times it's the women. The women want to report it, but the men, a lot of times they don't report it. It happens to us too. I'm sure many men can attest to that. They can vouch for that. And it's not a one-sided thing. It's definitely not that. So there you have it. I don't know. I think we definitely need to take a look at this in the court system and in society as a whole. I think women need to start holding themselves accountable. Some of the toxic behavior that they exhibit and dish out and participate in, and start realizing and say, hey, sometimes some of this shit is a consequence. You can't beat a man, you know, you can't make them do nothing, you can't get in their face, you can't hit, you can't take stuff, you can't tear up shit. Repercussions come with that. And sometimes that's getting the shit slapped out you, or you getting your ass choked because you're doing violence against them. So hit that like, share, subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this domestic violence shit. That shit goes both ways. There are two parties in it. You know, unless it's just a case of he's just an abuser or she's just an abuser. They're just doing shit because they're trying to be controlling and vindictive. Those are totally different topics and stories aside from when it's multi-directional. So let's start talking about it. We might talk about this again, do another session on it. But there are many allegations of this. Tupac had a sexual assault accusation against him. A lot of rappers, politicians, white and black. It goes on and on and on. So this is a age-old debate in society, dealing in relationships and men, women. It's a tricky topic. No easy solution. So Guy Body Sean, just wanted to tap in and talk about it, get my perspective on it. And sometimes we can't be too quick to jump and judge. A lot of times there's more to this shit than we want to think or we want to believe and we want to see. So hit that like, share, subscribe button. Man, drop a comment in the comment section. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll check y'all again on the next one. And we out. Peace.
I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Elevation Nation Conversations. Guy Body Sean.